Hello and welcome to my Impact Wrestling review. A lot of things going on this show tonight as we finish the qualifying matches to see who's going to enter in this whole six-way match to see who's going to become the number one contender at Under Siege for the Impact World Title and whatnot. So we do finish up the qualifying matches tonight on this show, as a lot of other stuff too. But we do kick off the show with Chris Sabin going against Rhino. Of course, Violent by Design and James Storm were out there basically watching. A good match to kick off the show. I figured Sabin was going to win just because it's like, I didn't really see Rhino winning this match. The match was okay, I'll say that. But Sabin getting the win, moving on to Under Siege, which also I guess they had Sami Callihan move on, which I will just say something about that real quick. Given I know it was like DQ last week, given Omega and crew beat both Callahan and Eddie Edwards up, I thought they would actually do a rematch tonight on this show. It's like, so who moves on into the whole six-way? So apparently, I guess Sami Callihan went in. I don't know who got attacked first during that whole match when Omega and them came out, but Callahan gets to move on into the tournament though. But like I said, Chris Sabin, he got the win, so he does move on into the six-way. Next, Brian Myers was pissed in the back saying, I shouldn't have had to face Cardona last week again. He was going to go to Scott D'Amore about trying to get into another qualifying match until Rosemary and her magic teleporting thing or whatever showed up with a card and whatnot. Basically, you're like the hanged man right now, okay? That was the picture of the card, like just a man hanging, and you're just stuck in a cycle of suffering. Myers basically said, cool story, bro, but this weird stuff crap is not for me. Next thing you know, Black Taurus just knocks him to the ground then as Myers is on the ground, and I guess Rosemary put a card on him, and the rest of Decay left in after that. So, don't know what's going on with that. I don't know if they can have Myers go against Decay now, so we'll see what happens, but um, don't know where they're going to go with that one, because Decay's just kind of been floating around lately, and Myers, like I said, I like Myers. I don't think he should have took that loss to Cardona last week. So hopefully he can bounce back from this. Gallows, Anderson, and Omega in the back, and Don Callis also basically talked about how Gallows and Anderson have been losing a lot of matches. That means they're losing stock, okay? And Omega says, I'm going to have to coach you guys back into, getting wins. Because Omega says, I'm from a place where wins and losses matter, of course. Sure about that? Basically, Omega says, I'm going to help you guys out. He said, I was a coach of a high school girls basketball team. And Gal says, that's what I need. Okay, don't know what's going on with that, but okay. Susan went against Taylor Wilde. Caleb Conley showed up with Tennille Dashel was out there also. Basically keeping Kimberly at bay. Obviously Taylor Wilde got the win over Susan this time, so she still did not want to join up with Tennille, and I don't want to join your team and whatnot. So I swear Tennille tried to get everybody part of her team, but no one won't join, and I guess Taylor Wilde won't join also. But good match though, I'll say that. Deanna Peraza was in the back. Basically, they asked her, why didn't you go out there with Susan and Kimberly's recent matches? And she said, I don't need to go out there. I'm not ducking Taylor Wilde, okay? But as she said, they need to earn their right and whatnot, for me to be a ringside with them. But Rosemary says, what happened to you, huh? You've been acting like a coward lately. You used to be full of potential. You went in headstrong at stuff. But now, you just been kind of hiding out nowadays, ducking people. And Deanna basically said, I don't fear Decay, you freaks and whatnot. Havoc showed up then as Deanna tried to get away. Deanna basically said, you know what, I am a fighting champion. So you two I'm gonna go to Scott D'Amore right now and book a match where you two will face each other next week. And whoever wins, they can face me for the title. So Rosemary kind of had a point there. Yes, Deanna is kind of been some of the chicken shit coward champion lately than being more like the heel that's been kind of outsmarting the faces and whatnot. So I don't know what's going on with that part, but we'll see what happens with Rosemary and Havoc. Who's going to get a title shot, but then again, what if any of these two women done anything recently to get a title shot? So don't know about that. Big Cass or W. Morrissey had a promo. Basically talked about, in the past, I was part of a tag team, and you all seen me as Goofy. And, you could see agony in my eyes now. And I don't blame the fans, basically, for seeing that. Basically, he blames the fans for turning their backs on him. When he was down and out, you all criticized what I'd done. and just from some of his former friends and whatnot. I hit rock bottom, he said, and now I've rose from the ashes. I'm gonna be bigger and better than ever, and I don't need any help for that. All right. And Willie Mack's gonna feel that agony and pain when I take him on at Under Siege. So good promo for Morrissey. It is good, basically, which he is basically on a real redemption and whatnot. So I did like his promo. I like how it was shot. It wasn't bad. Like I said, it's a whole, cast cast XL. I'm trying not to call him Cast on whatever his new name is now, but I'm so used to calling him Cast. But like I said, he is basically, coming back, and he's a heel, but he's somewhat of a sympathetic heel. He hit rock bottom, and now you all turn your back on me. I'm turning my back on y'all. Rohit Raju went against Trey Miguel to see who was going to be in the whole number one contender spot for Under Siege. Trey Miguel ended up getting the win. Good match. I figured Trey was going to win anyway, so I never really saw Rohit going in there, but a good match. Jake something came out because I guess on the pre-show he went against Shira, and I guess he lost that match thanks to Rohit. And Jake came out, basically powerbombed Rohit into Shira, taking both of them out then. So Jake was standing tall. We went to Swingers Palace then, which half the roster looked like they were there. Chris Bay, Cardona, Saban, Alicia Edwards basically saying she's out of money and she wants to stay in. And Trey Miguel showed up talking about, I'm in the qualifying match. And you guys, like I said, you already got half the qualifiers there. Some are former world champions and whatnot. And Saban, which over the top said, I have a former world champion. And Storm says, I'm going to be in that six-way also later tonight once I beat Moose. But Chris Bay tried, kind of stir the pot. Hey, which team was better, huh? America's Most Wanted, beer money, or beer guns? And and even asked Saban, was the Motor City Machine Guns? How about them, huh? Were they better than this team y'all got going on right now? Storm basically said, I know what you're trying to do. And he says, I'll see you Under Siege once he beats Moose tonight. Doc Gallows went against Juice Robinson. Well, they said why Omega didn't bring out all the titles, even though he brought them out on Wednesday. He didn't bring any of the title belts with him. Basically saying that the fans don't deserve to see the championships. Obviously, I'm sure we're going to get a one-on-one match next week anyways, also with Carl Anderson and David Finlay. But Gallows ended up getting the win with the, I would want to say the Sky High and whatnot, or the 12 steps, or however his move has always been called and whatnot. But Gallows got the win. Next thing you know, Omega and Crew start jumping him. Eddie Edwards came out for the save, but the numbers game basically outdid him, and Omega and Crew stood tall. I guess it's going to be a six-man with all these guys pretty soon, so we'll see what happens with that. I don't know if Eddie Edwards is ever going to get a title shot one-on-one with Kenny Omega, which will really be a good match, but it's obviously going to be a six-man tag sooner or later with all these guys, so we'll see what goes on with that. Deanna was leaving the building with Kimber and Susan. Scott D'Amore basically, like I said earlier, booked that match, and the whole number one contenders, and I guess someone will be facing her Under Siege for the title then, so we all know that's coming. The debut of El Phantasmo from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Bullet Club member, making his Impact debut, going against VSK. Of course, I'm glad they kept Phantasmo's music. I wish he would have came out with his light bright jacket. I always like it, but he does his entrance and everything, and basically it's a showcase match and whatnot for him for his debut. So, of course, he's winning with that super kick, or the loaded boot, everyone has been saying in New Japan. I like the guy. I've seen him in New Japan for the past year or two now. He was just at Wrestle Kingdom not that long ago. And, former IWGP Junior Tag Champion, and what was he at, the Rev Pro Cruiserweight Champion at one point. So, I guess we're going to see what happens now since he's on Impact, because we've seen him either in New Japan or New Japan Strong. And let's see how he cuts his teeth right here and Impact now. So, good debut for El Phantasmo. Kiera Hogan went against Rachel Ellering. Rachel Ellering getting the win. Hitting him with the Boss Man Slam and whatnot, or a Black Hole Slam. So, good match. Basically, everybody started arguing in the back. Tasha says she's going to take out Jordan Grace next week, so we'll see what happens with that. Moose was preparing himself for his match against James Storm tonight. Don Callis came in saying, look at you in great shape right now. You look better than ever. And, you talk about NFL coaches and whatnot. I'm leading teams and, go against some J-Brons or whatnot. And listen, man, I think you need to keep away from Kenny Omega, all right? because, we're trying to send a message to the locker room and everything. And the Stonehouse is talking and talking. Moose said, you know, go away. I'm going to send a message in that ring tonight, which we did get to the main event between Moose and James Storm, and a really great match, I should say, too. Basically, the story with Moose focusing on James Storm's leg, beating it up throughout most of the match, which even Storm having problems trying to get up, even trying to hit the eye of the Storm, but his knee kept buckling on him then. After that, Storm trying to fight through the pain. At one point, he got his, last call super kick out of nowhere, but it looked like he did more damage to the leg then, which Moose ended up taking advantage as, Storm trying to get up using the referee as leverage, and Storm ended up getting speared then by Moose for the win. And then right after, Moose ended up putting a chair on James Storm's leg and then stepping on it as Chris Sabin came out for the save as Moose got out of the ring then. So in the six-way, we have Chris Sabin, Chris Bay, Sami Callihan, Matt Cardona, Trey Miguel, and Moose in a six-way under siege to see who will become the number one contender for the Impact World title. So I would say good show. I'll say that. Now, if I had to take a bet, and I've said this before, I think I said this last week, Moose needs to win this match. Now, if it left to me, you could build this all the way to Slammiversary. But if someone else does win that six-way, I probably would say Sami Callihan maybe could win. Any of these guys could win, but I think Moose needs to be the guy to take that belt off Omega. He needs to be the guy. All right? I'm just saying it right now. I've been saying it for a while now that he needs to be the champion, and it's been long overdue. And if he does win it, they need to like stretch this out all the way to Slammiversary, and Moose needs to beat Kenny Omega at Slammiversary for that world title. Okay? But we'll see what happens to Under Siege, which I think is next week if I'm not mistaken. So I'll give Impact one. They have been building these plus shows better and better. At least they're, more watchable than I've seen in the past, and it actually has to do with the show. So I've been checking out a little bit of those more and more nowadays. But other than that, though, that's my review of Impact tonight. I'm out of here. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'll see you guys later. I'm out of here. Peace. We'll be back tomorrow night for that SmackDown Throwback Edition review, all right? So I'll see you guys later. I'm out.